Welcome to the third and final part of the absorption approach. Absorption approach, as you know, is a macroeconomic approach to study the effect of devaluation on the trade balance of the devaluing country. So let me straight away enter into the video, third part. So let's look at the general rule for the absorption approach according to Sidney Alexander. The marginal before going to that, the most important point is marginal propensity to absorb. It is written as E. So E is a marginal propensity to absorb. It is equal to B plus G. So B is marginal propensity to consume and G is marginal propensity to invest. That means here the consumption and investment are taken as the variables. Here the government expenditure is also part of the domestic expenditure, but it is supposed to be given here. Only consumption and investment are considered as the variable here. So E is equal to B plus G, and the general rule for the absorption approach is trade balance after devaluation will improve if only if E is less than 1. That means absorption is less than 1, then only the trade balance will improve after devaluation. Similarly, second rule for the effect of devaluation on the trade balance is trade balance will deteriorate or worsen when E or marginal propensity to absorb is greater than 1. So when marginal propensity to absorb is greater, trade balance will be deteriorated further after devaluation. Similarly, when marginal propensity to absorb is equal to 1, trade balance remain unaffected. It will remain neutral. So it doesn't have any impact on the trade balance if the absorption is equal to 1. So when absorption is less than 1, trade balance will improve. Absorption is greater than 1, trade balance will deteriorate. When absorption is equal to 1, trade balance remains unaffected. So let's look at these three rules as three cases. So let's look at the case 1, where marginal propensity to absorb E is equal to B plus G. It is suppose its value is 1. That means as per the general rule of absorption approach, when devaluation is adopted, it is going to make no change in trade balance of the country. The trade balance of the country in this case is going to be neither deteriorated nor improved. It remains unaffected or it remains neutral when E is equal to 1. Suppose here marginal propensity to import small m is equal to 20% and B is equal to 80%. B refers to marginal propensity to consume, and G is equal to 20%, that is marginal propensity to invest. So here E is equal to 80% plus 20%. This is 100% or 1. So here E is equal to 1. So let's look at the example here. Suppose consumption in our original example is 120 million US dollar. Investment I is 80. Government expenditure is given. It is supposed to be constant here. It is 20 million dollar, and import is 80. Export is 60. So there is a deficit of 20 million US dollar in the original example which we have given in the first part of the video. And national income is 200, that is Y is 200. So here the trade balance is written as B is equal to Y minus A. So Y is the national income, A is the total absorption or domestic expenditure. So A is equal to C plus I plus G. This is domestic expenditure, including consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, and government expenditure. Government expenditure here is a constant. It is 20. So C plus I plus G is 220, and so the same can be written as X minus M. X minus M is the trade balance, that is equal to B. B is equal to X minus M. So X minus M is written instead of B, that is equal to Y minus A. A is equal to C plus I plus G. So 60 minus 80, that is minus 20, is equal to 200 is the national income, that is Y is equal to 200 minus 220 is the total domestic expenditure or absorption. So 200 minus 220 is minus 20. So minus 20 is equal to minus 20. So the excess of expenditure over national income, excess of domestic expenditure over national income will be considered as the trade balance of the country. Here since the domestic expenditure is greater than national income by 20 million US dollar, same is the trade balance of the country as its absorption is greater than income. So this is the background for which the devaluation is declared by the monetary authority of the country or central government of that country. So devaluation, assume devaluation is declared and export has increased by 40 million US dollar. So this change in export will, this increase in export will lead to increase in income, depends on foreign trade multiplier. So here foreign trade multiplier is delta Y by delta X. This is the change in national income due to change in export, and here it is R is equal to, that is the foreign trade multiplier is equal to 1 by 1 minus B minus G plus M. Here it is R here is equal to 1 by 1 minus 0.8. 0.8 is the marginal propensity to consume, that is 0.8 or 80%, as we have already known that B is equal to 0.8. B is the marginal propensity to consume, and minus G, that is marginal propensity to invest. So that is 0.2 or 20% is that. So 1 minus 0.8 minus 0.2 plus import is marginal propensity to import is 0.2. So the value is, value of foreign trade multiplier is 1 by 0.2. It's so the foreign trade multiplier's value is 5. So the when export has increased the income, export is increased after devaluation, the income is going to be increased 5 times the export, as the foreign trade multiplier value is 5. So when export increased by 40 million US dollar, the income change in income will be 200 million US dollar after devaluation and after increase in export, as the value of foreign trade multiplier is 5. Here let's look this devaluation in the case of deficit period, in the time of deficit period, whether it increased, whether it improved the trade balance or not. Let's calculate that using the marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to invest. So here the change in consumption is, as you know, in consumption is the function of income. So change in income into B, that means income is increased by 200. 200 is a change in income. Original income itself is 200, so total income will be 400. Here change in income is 200, that is 5 times the change in export, that is 5 into 40, that is 200 million US dollar is the change in income. So into 0.8 is marginal propensity to consume. So 200 into 0.8 is 160. So 160 is the change in consumption after increase in income due to increase in export. So consumption increased by 160. Similarly, change in investment, that is delta I is equal to delta Y into G. It is also the function of income, but the marginal propensity to invest is 0.2. Then change in income here is 200. 200 into 0.2 is 40. That means investment has increased by 40 million US dollar. Here let's look the change in import, delta M. Delta M is equal to, import is also the function of income, delta Y into M. Delta Y is 200. M stands for marginal propensity to import. Its value here is 0.2 or 20%. Then 200 into 0.2 is 40. So change in export, as you all know, is 40 after devaluation. And the equation here is x minus m is equal to y minus c plus I plus g. So x minus m is trade balance. It is minus 20. There is no change in and here the total export after devaluation will be 100 and total import will be 120. So 120 is the total import. It was previously 80, increased by 40. Then 120 is the new total import, and total export was just 60. After devaluation, it has increased by 40 million US dollar. Now it is 100 US dollar, increased by 40. Then 60 becomes 100. 80 becomes 120. So 100 minus 120 is equal to minus 20. And why total income after devaluation and after change in income due to devaluation, due to change in export and devaluation is 400. So that is the total income minus domestic expenditure or absorption. So absorption here is total absorption after change in consumption is 280. It was previously 120. Now the consumption has increased by 160. The total consumption is 280. And in total investment is 120. It was previously or originally 80 and increased by 40 million US dollar. Now it is 120 US dollar. And finally, government expenditure remains constant. It was originally 20. It is now also 20. There is no change in that as per the assumption. And let's look at the final figure from the calculation. 100 minus 120 is minus 20 itself, and y minus a, that is y minus c plus I plus g, or income minus absorption is also minus 20. That means 400 minus 280 plus 120 plus 20, that is also minus 20. So minus 20 is equal to minus 20 means it was previously also, this is the same figure. There is no change in deficit even after devaluation, although export has increased, but change in export also leads to change in income, change in consumption, change in investment. So due to that effect, finally, ultimately, the trade balance of the country remains unaffected if the value of marginal propensity to absorb E is equal to 1. So this is the first general rule of the absorption approach. The next, second and third rules of the absorption approach will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.